that's gotta come under the wing, that's gotta come under you guys' purview.
The refuge board has to, to take care of that problem, and I mentioned that, I said, this next meeting, we gotta take at least 15 minutes and come up with a job description, number one. We gotta get them some training of some kind. Mike found one of them at Muscle Shell, that was just sitting in his vehicle doing nothing, and we're paying him $16 an hour to do nothing. So Mike had him get out and start picking up garbage.
I'll bet that was interesting to see. I'll bet he looks, who the hell are you? Well, I'm your boss.
Yeah, oh gosh.
Well, you know what, they're not gonna do anything, if they don't get feedback.
If they've never been told anything,
Yes,
and
they
there's
probably just told, we
nobody,
just
there's
need
no-
to hear this, watch this.
No oversight.
no oversight of any kind.
I don't think you need to hire, the board just needs to be aware, and somebody on the board needs to say, okay, I'll keep this guy.
See, I started doing that with Boyd and the other guy, I don't even remember his name. And then I said, hey, I'm taking off, I'm leaving, so who's gonna step up? Well, then, Terry said, well, I'll start doing it, but
Okay.
Terry's got, just like everybody else, he's got his own life, and he doesn't have the time to go out there once, twice a week either. So I don't know what the answer is yet.
Well, you don't wanna hire somebody full-time or part-time just to, you know, I've been hired to sit and watch you sit and do nothing or something, but, you know, I was thinking, we're looking for, we've got the same issue down at the fairgrounds. We can't get anything simply done because there's nobody directly responsible. So we're gonna hire, it started off as a parks person, but it's gonna be more of a manager, facility manager, but we could maybe expand that role to say, we also need to check on Millstone and Muscle Shell's refuse every now and then, make sure that, you know, these guys are.
And I've been working while I was on vacation, I've been jotting down notes about this park and recreation job that you come and talk to the city with, and you know, and I don't want that just to die.
Well, the only thing with the city, you know, the reason that I thought it was maybe not a good fit for the city is, I see it as a source of contention. How come he's focused on your things and not mine, you know?
Right.
And vice versa, and it's like, well, maybe we don't need that kind of friction, but the concept is we got enough, the county's got enough to look after, that,
It's a full-time job.
yeah. And maybe we could maybe put this refuse thing underneath, just, you know,
That's
just
a good
go out there and
idea,
make sure.
you know, maybe,
Make sure there isn't trash everywhere, or, you know, and then if there's a problem, notify the board, you know?
Right.
Cause and we're thinking of Angie, Tateman, is it?
Tapman.
Tapman?
Yeah, I think Angie actually, expressed a big interest in being this recreational person. So she could, you know, run around the fairgrounds, Bear Collins, all of that.
Right.
She's real familiar with the fairgrounds, the rodeo, all that, all those events and whatnot, and so we're looking to do that, and, you know, we put in those, I gotta call Chris Kurt, he's gonna do the electrical call this morning, but we put in those RV stations.
Right.
But we got the electrical to do, but we got a lot to think about. And we have a water fill station down there. That's, I don't know if you've seen it or if you've been down.
I haven't been down there. I
You
keep
should
hearing
go.
about it, but I need to
Well,
go
it's
down.
not activated, but apparently you credit card and you get a credit card and you'll pull up. There's a couple things we need to do
At the
there.
fairgrounds?
At the fairgrounds.
Really?
Doesn't work because it doesn't have any electrical to it. But the idea is that it would be another place for somebody to get water. It's a 2-inch line, but it'll fill something up pretty quick.
Pretty quick, yeah.
But we talked, so kind of keep you up to speed on some of that stuff too, since you're with the city. You know, we have that 4-inch service going down there.
Mhm.
And Matt Smith with Staley got with, no, Bob Church with Great West got with Lon, and they said, well, if you put in a smaller meter size, in other words, you reduce to go to a smaller
Right.
meter, we won't charge you, because we don't need a 4-inch service
No,
down there, and the rate, you know, the monthly rate, basic rate was
right.
$1,100 a month or something like that. And so we still need to do all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff to do down there that, but, you know, so they got with Lon said that would be fine, and, so, so the need for a parks person is intensifying. But if you go
Yeah.
down there, you can see that station, it's really nice. You know, you pull up and it's got a, you know, chute, you pull
Is
down.
that on the same end as the?
Yeah, it's on, you know, that would be on the south end, right? Way on the south end.
Yeah, on the south end, okay,
It just doesn't have any electrical,
okay.
which is kind of a sad deal. So,
Well, getting an electrician is hard to do, so,
well, yeah, it was,
unless you wanna hire an expensive outfit out of Billings.
well, we got a really high bid on it that was just unacceptable. So we've been working with Curtin Electric,
Yeah.
but it needs to get done. You know, the weather's a little better now.
Are you gonna open up the RV stuff to everybody in charge then? or-
Well, that's the other thing, we gotta work out how we're gonna do that, what are we
Yeah.
gonna charge? But the idea is, it was to attract, like, for
Events.
these rodeo events and
Mhm.
things, to attract people
I
that
see.
can come. But there's gotta be some fee, you know,
Oh, yeah, there's gotta be some fee.
We have to keep it separate from the Cowbells campground, which also should have.
And that's a
That kind of
donation deal, yeah.
Yeah, well, and that was another thing. The donations, old Monody, she says, hey, you probably should go down there and reach in there and grab the money out of there. Because no one has
Done
Yeah.
done that in quite some time.
Wow.
so these are these gaps, what kinda got us on that, is these little
Yeah.
gaps that there's a need for
That's why
somebody
we
to
have
be on
to,
point, you know?
that's why we have to have this recreational person. Angie is gonna be retiring in July, and so and because she's been so active in that, that's why
And she's interested.
Yeah.
She's
Right.
apparently pretty good at organizing things.
Mhm.
and,
She's good at the bank.
Yeah. She doesn't say much, but when she
Mhm.
does,
Yeah.
it needs to be heard,
Right.
you know? So,
Well, I can tell you, for the last 3 months, prices for RV spots are here to here.
Hmm.
well, think of how beautiful it is down there.
Most of them are, you know, Arizona and stuff like that, they're charging anywhere from $40 to $100 a night.
You know, we went
Smokes,
one
man.
in Bozeman, this hot springs one. It was like $140 a night.
Which is ridiculous in my book.
Well, it was, it was kind of a surprise, but what the hell? You know,
But yeah, we found RV parks for 55 and older where it was $20 a night. And that was all three, water, sewer, and electricity.
and we don't have
we
sewer,
don't.
but I also think we need picnic tables and fire pits. You know, like you go to,
Right, yeah.
and then it could really be a heck of an experience for rodeo people to show up.
Well, for anybody,
Well, exactly.
for anybody.
So, but we need to think about that, that's kind of puts the pressure on the parks person. Yeah,
Angie can take the pressure.
Well, I think she'd
Yeah.
take pressure.
She'd be a good one, I think.
It's just,
well, we run into dumb things like, we let Gary have his bowl sale down there, and he told us he would put everything back the way it was, but he left stuff in the horse barn, but and that meant the person that was rented it to ride horses couldn't ride horses because there was stuff in the way, and it's like,
Yeah, you
that's all could be avoided if you had somebody down there.
Right.
You know.
that was gonna be my next question is now you gotta almost have somebody there on site.
Here's the flip side of that, okay, now we're talking security. One of the sheriff's deputies has a RV, and would not object to living down there.
Yeah, you know where they go? Up
Yeah,
there,
where we had a deputy.
You
When
did?
I was with the sheriff's department
Yeah.
here, we had John, what was his last name?
couldn't tell you.
Him and his family lived down there. The county put in the electricity, the water and the sewer. Put in a concrete path.
Yeah, it's down there still, isn't it?
It's still down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you could get it functional again and get someone to live there.
Yeah, we need to
Great.
push on that too. It's all coming up.
Maybe I should go live down there.
Well, you could. We just need somebody
Supposed to
down
be a
there.
phone call coming to you guys. You didn't hear anything?
No, who is it?
Some guy that wants to talk to you.
Oh, I bet it's along the road. We'll have to tell them, we'll have to come to public comment at 3:00.
Okay.
Well, but if they want to, we're here if they call in again. I mean, you can tell them that if they call.
Yeah, there's a lot on the
kind
plate
of
there to
exciting.
figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, when you turn the busy bee down
Probably.
It'll have to be after June.
after June?
He's gonna have he's got until the end of May to get his stuff out of there, but then he's gonna have this little auction cycle thing.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, we gave him a 30-day extension. Then that's it.
Well, Pancrat's,
I was just curious, 'cause I see lights on and stuff when I go by in the ambulance.
He's still cleaning, rearranging, I don't know, taking his stuff out, I don't know.
Right,
But yeah, this summer it'll go.
okay. I was just curious, so.
And then we'll turn the deed over to the city.
Well, but that's never happened with the other properties that I bought. So,
Yeah. It's a learning curve.
right,
Well, and then right next door to it is the, the old Waltz
Mhm.
service station,
right.
and we gotta follow up on that one too.
Was that part of the buyout, or just
No.
to be?
No, it's not bought out yet, but they're about to lose it on taxes,
Oh,
and then.
and there might be
But
some
we
more
don't want
tanks.
to, but see, it's got the tanks in there, but it's our understanding that they were released because they pumped them out and put sand in there, and that the DEQ says it's okay. But we have not seen any paperwork saying that that's
That's true, yeah. That's what I would wonder.
but that's gonna have to be, it can't be rejuvenated, it needs to be,
No, it needs to be gone. Yeah, and see, with the Turley property right across the street,
Mhm.
that's, all that stuff was supposed to come to the city, but it never happened.
Okay,
And I don't know why. I asked Justin about it, and he said, well, it just hasn't gotten done.
go the heck.
So, I know where all those lots are since I bought them. But, and supposedly you guys said that they could continue to have their Saturday, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's good.
It's a good little place for
Yeah, it
that.
is. It's great.
And it's not in the way of the flooding, so
No.
heck, they can have that
No.
down there. It's right on the highway, people can stop in if they want, and
Right.
it's a great little place to have a
Yep.
farmer's market.
That's what I said too.
That, and then also having their evening farmer's market down at the end of Main Street, I
At the
think
end of
that's a
Main,
neat little
yeah.
deal.
Yeah, hopefully they'll come back and talk to us about that. continue that. That was on Wednesdays, if I remember correctly,
Yeah, Wednesday evenings. Yeah.
so. Okay, I will get that to you.
Sounds good. I think Gary Lynn was gonna get it to me too, and if nothing else, Bonadies probably gonna get it to me Monday or Tuesday, so.
Things are moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came in, because that way we can all be on the same page with something.
Well, it's communications, that's all it
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
It's nobody's fault, it's just the way it is, the way it turned out. So, maybe I shouldn't be so inquisitive.
No. It's been a big improvement, been a big help.
Anyways,
And if you run into Norma, you can tell her that Sophie over here at Department of Revenue, she'll come to our next meeting
okay, good.
and she'll tell us about what they're doing to get the refuse fee on all of the properties.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of them taken off. She got the one they were talking about, the Thompson. She says, I got that fixed.
I'm really curious to hear about the one for the electric service shop.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The devil.
And I asked about that property that Troy owns,
Mm-hmm.
and was told that the city actually didn't own it long enough to pay any taxes on it.
Okay.
We turned it around right away. And so, you know, I really hate to see that, him not pay that fee,
Yeah, yeah.
because what's gonna happen 2 years from now?
So you would rather the fee stay there?
I would rather the fee stay myself.
Well, so do I, because, and it's on Main Street, giving him a reprieve on that, then everyone else is gonna be wanting to do the same thing if they don't have a business there. It's not a big deal, I mean, paying that, it's just a little $300 bill, for God's
Right.
sakes.
I gotta call Troy later today and see if I can't meet him down there and talk to
Okay.
him and see if I can't convince him of that, but I don't know that I would be able to.
Well, you might have to have someone else to help you with that, but Troy's been getting better. I have to give him credit.
Yeah, he was really good at it.
Yeah, he was.
Just no problem at all. I'll get hold of him. Hopefully can visit with him between now and that.
Like one of the things he mentioned was that, he calls his art center his home also, and so he can't, and he even said, I can't have it both.
No, it's gotta be one or the other. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Sounds good.
you two know each other?
I haven't seen this guy forever, so
Yeah.
he just don't follow me around Arizona very often.
No, I don't. How it would.
Well, I'm doing good, and you? Good. Fortunately, I had to come back.
You'd be thankful you're out of that godforsaken country here pretty quick.
You know, it was actually pretty dang nice. I enjoyed those days when it got up to 80 degrees down there.
Well, yeah.
You guys were having 40 below.
Well, yeah, but pretty soon it's gonna be 180 degrees.
Well, it's already that way.
Yeah.
No, I planned on being back here before it got that hot, but.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go out here and visit with Carol.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, you bet.
Really helped. We might have you come in more often actually on that deal. Be a little helpful.
Well, like I said, it's all about communications. If we're all on the same page, we're,
Yeah.
you know what each other's doing.
And then we keep you updated on all of our recreational
Yeah.
issues that we're having, cause
Yeah.
it's really difficult.
No, I really think that'd be a good deal to have her. So,
Your best bet is to talk to a lawyer to understand it better, but from what I understand,
all right,
transfer on debt,
I gotta run down the hall.
I'll get that, or did you already get it?
No, no,
That was
something
something
else.
else? Okay.
That's right, the property is exempt from the probate process.
This is the guy claiming out his easement who did so with Bigger.
Anything else that you don't have a will for, or don't have?
Yeah, and, you know, just, I don't know how we get involved. I don't think we do.
Well, I don't think we do either because he, I mean, there's the easement there and he feels they inappropriately,
Yeah, it's everybody's easement, and if it's, he wants to work on it,
he wants to maintain it, he can do it.
yeah, I don't see how we can, unless they had a homeowners association agreement that would, you know, prohibit that. But none of these places have HOAs, well, except for frickin'
Around
Round Mesa. We know how that
That
goes.
one's a shit show.
Yeah, that's it. Boggles my mind.
Yeah, you can get more information on the probate process and to use upstairs at district court if there's some kind of like, if the transfer on death, this automatically would take property over to whoever's designated as a beneficiary, then you're on death junior on it, so that would be exempt, then you're gonna throw it back over. Upstairs, ask them up there about what you're asking about, the other cash funds.
I don't have any concern about giving out these reports, do you?
They don't do the actual work right.
Right.
They have that.
Automatically, whoever you put as a beneficiary.
they're gonna want you to.
They come in here.
It's April 11th, right?
Yeah, that's it.
You didn't ask on the district court foundation, but I don't know if the whole state would have to go probate. The property itself, with the transfer and deputy, automatically go to the beneficiaries outside of the probate process.
Are you getting a job?
That's a way to have the
All
property.
right, there we go. So did old boy come and talk to you today, or
Hasn't yet.
not yet? You think he's gonna?
I think
What?
I think he might. We'll see. You talk about hitting the freaking lottery, though. Jesus Christ. Name something he didn't do.
Yeah. I think realistically, the appropriate charges are probably
Yeah, you know what,
tampering with
Charlie, will you
evidence
look up her last name? And
Felony
see if,
intimidation.
She's got the,
and
let's file
probably
the,
assault with a weapon.
quit claim deed from her to her husband, from her to, her and her husband.
I think robbery works too. He stole their freaking phone and their damn keys.
I'll be able to find out.
Did he still have them on?
No.
Oh, I guess he did, yeah, 'cause he drove him down to the end of the road and left him. You know, that was creative.
It was. It was.
It was.
Hello, Gimpy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Old Dan Kaczynski, and this was years ago, I bet you it was 6, 7 years ago. Guy took his kids out fishing, he was wading in some river and he stepped into some mess of logs or something. And either way, he ended up getting a chunk of rotten wood stuck into his foot and a piece of it broke off in there. And it wasn't getting picked up on the x-rays because it was wood. And it took quite, I mean, he ended up having 2 or 3 surgeries on his foot before they finally got it out. But he had to spend a whole season limping around, and his radio call sign was Hopalong. Hopalong.
Cassidy.
Hopalong, 'cause the poor guy just couldn't walk. Well, so Dan has a twin brother. Did you know that? Yeah, and well, he's got a twin brother. And I guess in utero, just because there's not a whole lot of room in there, his brother was leaning up against one of his feet. So one of his feet is kinda malformed anyway.
Good morning, Mr. Turley.
Good morning, Sheriff Lesnick. How are things?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Did you go skiing?
Yeah. Last weekend at Showdown. Was last weekend.
Was it?
Yeah.
They're closed? The heck? What's their snow total?
I think they had something at or just over 400 inches of snow.
Really?
For the whole season?
Yeah, total for the whole season. It was a good year.
The last I saw was 350 something. I'll be darned.
Yeah. Yeah. The other big deal for Showdown, which is a good thing, maybe not a good thing, I don't know. They had 70,000 skier days.
Really?
Just over 70,000 skier
Holy
days.
smokes.
Yeah, so that's, it was a good year for Katie.
Well, that's a good thing, because they
Yeah.
needed it.
Yeah, especially after last year. I know Katie was, I saw the stress that it took on Katie last year, where there wasn't good snow, she just bought the place. And then she had also, Katie had bought that hotel there in White Sulphur, it was a Super 8, I think, and she renamed it and retuned it up. It's called the Edith now, like the mountain.
Okay.
And it's a nice place. I mean, it's a nice, if you were gonna stay in White Sulphur, that's where you wanna stay. But she had that, so she had a lot of money going out, not a lot of money coming in, and I think there was a lot of stress there, but the mannequin jump on Saturday evening was hysterical. That was, the last mannequin was the Showdown entry, and all it was this big box that had, I don't know how many beach balls in it, 50, 60 beach balls in it, and it went off the jump, hit, beach balls went everywhere, and then and they had the kids on the berm around it, and as soon as it stopped moving, the kids could go in after the beach balls, and it was hysterical. It was mayhem. I bet you there was 200 kids running around trying to grab big beach balls, and they would grab them and try
On the
to
ski slope?
on the ski slope.
I'll be darned.
Oh my gosh, it was funny. It was funny. I didn't realize it was going to be that entertaining, so I only got a couple seconds of video of it. But if we had video of the whole thing, it was classic.
Okay, so now it's in your name.
Mr. Goffney and Mr. Pancratz here today.
Well, Mr. Pancratz said he's on the phone. Mr. Goffney, he's at the ribbon cutting for all of the little businesses that are starting. Here.
Perfect. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So just a couple of,
It'll be your name,
guess I'll say,
whoever you want to send
a
it
couple
to.
of really good things the sheriff's office had.
Okay, so this
Last
is-
Friday afternoon, evening, we had a pursuit with a young lady,
So
and it was out on 12 East, and
it's
ultimately, the sheriff's office was able to resolve that. Nothing got torn up, nobody got hurt, except some tires and maybe an engine of a vehicle, but their vehicle. But it was just really pleased with the performance. Usually pursuits end badly. Usually somebody potentially ends up dead. You know,